That's one of them good old good ones on WIOD, Nat King Cole, and Unforgettable. How about a gift of a lifetime? I'm not talking about a diamond, I'm talking about a Lowry organ. Yes, I am. Well, see a super saving Christmas sale going on now at Summers Music. You'll save from $300 to $3,000 on new or used pianos and organs. And they give you a free matching bench, free delivery, free Magic Melodies kit that's at Instant Play Music for a year, and free lessons. Well, why don't you at least have somebody play one for you, see what you can do with it. I bet you'll be playing in 5 minutes. Summers Music Center, Hollywood Fashion Center at 441 and Hollywood Boulevard. Christmas fun and fun for the whole family for years and years to come.
It's time for a new car.
Jefferson National Banks have low rates on new car loans. Jefferson National Bank, serving all of Dade County.
Low-rate new car loans because we care.
Today I'm in one of my favorite moods. I want to feel pampered and very feminine. I'm going to wear my frilliest lingerie and my most delicious perfume. I feel very Chantilly today. Very Chantilly today.
Chantilly perfume by Hobigot.
I feel very Chantilly, very Chantilly, very Chantilly today.
Well, now, one of our lovely
When I meet a man and I sense the fragrance of Monsieur Houbigant musk, I always remain in complete control of my emotions. I never get excited or lose my composure.
All the way, Monsieur, that's the way. With Monsieur Houbigant musk, the bold black bottle will show you the way to Monsieur Houbigant musk.
As I was saying, when I sense the fragrance of Monsieur Houbigant musk, I remain in complete control.
Well, I never do know when that one's over. Well, all right. Now, Tina Waltz, our beloved account executive, was just in. I don't know whether that lady with the currants is listening or not. When was it? I guess last week. We were talking about where can you get currants and other such things that she was looking for. And you had to buy them by the 10-pound bunch. I am told now by the beautiful Tina Waltz that you can buy currants at Publix in the pound box. Thank you, Tina. 23 past 12 at WIOD. Paul Harvey News at 12:30. We have 7 minutes left for bidding. $150 is my high bid for $267 worth of toys. Rita Coolidge on WIOD, Love Me Again. Absolutely. Are you going to let that stand at $150, you guys? I mean, $267 worth of toys for Sweet Charity. Your charity gets the toys and the money that you bid. You're going to make a donation to your favorite charity anyway? I don't know what it may be, but all kinds of churches, all kinds of temples, all kinds of youth organizations, groups, clubs, schools. We had a Catholic school last year. Where are you? All right, I have $150 bid for $267 worth of toys and 3 minutes left to bid. Let's get it going here. This is the Christmas spirit, you know, and it's deductible. Can you give a little more? All right. 751-9463 in Dade County. Broward, 524-4626. Palm Beach, 278-9463. Let the bidding continue. That's Deodato on WIOD, the 2001 theme. I'm Big Wilson. Coming up, Paul Harvey News. Brought to you by the Red Thumb Home Centers for the do-it-yourselfer who sometimes hits the wrong nail. Red Thumb in Fort Lauderdale, Boca Raton, Margate, and Plantation.
Hello, Americans. This is Paul Harvey. Stand by for news. I am unconvinced that all we call progress is progress, but what I'm about to report is progress. It's a new car tire. This comes along at a most timely time. It's more hazardous than it ever was for you to be stranded in your car, anywhere, anytime, city or country, especially nighttime. So, steel-belted tires came along, and the industry thought it had protected you against blowouts, but then it was demonstrated that tires almost always blow out through a sidewall. And nobody'd done anything about that. Ironsides has. Your Ironsides tire dealer now has for you a car tire with steel belts under the tread, but also steel side walls. Ironsides, a safety precaution that could represent life insurance to those you love. Ironsides tires, the toughest thing on wheels. Now for a free brochure and for the name of the nearest Ironsides tire dealer, telephone toll-free, 800-626-6300. Telephone 800-626-6300. 6-300. On a bet, a Frenchman ate a bicycle. I said on a bet, a Frenchman ate a bicycle. This is verified by Medical World News that Michel Lotito, 28, won a $5,000 bet by eating a bicycle. He cut the bike and its parts into small pieces, lubricated his insides with much mineral oil, and ate the whole thing, 15 pounds of metal. He says the only tasty part was the chain. Ice storm in the boot heel of Missouri, the worst ice storm in 40 years. They may be without electricity for days. Sportlight ouch. Roger Staubach has sprained his right foot and toe in yesterday's practice, a doubtful starter Sunday. 2 school buses collided near Somerset, Ohio. 24 students hurting. Did you know that some students are so smart they drop out of school? So smart that they become bored and drop out? St. Louis has instituted a special education program offering college courses for 6th graders, if they are ready. Why can't Mrs. Tompkins educate her daughter at home? Daughter Heidi, age 9, does not like public school, does not like private school. Her mother in Concord, New Hampshire, wants to educate the girl at home, but the New Hampshire Board of Education says she can't do that. Mrs. Tompkins wants to know what about her human rights. Oh, my. I guess you'd better sit down for this. The famous Vienna Boys Choir is not going to be permitted to sing Christmas carols this Christmas, and this is the first time in 500 years that choir has missed contributing to this celebration. Child labor laws. Somebody discovered that child labor laws in Austria prevent children under 15 from working during school holidays, so the famous Vienna Boys Choir has been silent. Dust to dust. Outside Jerusalem this morning in a driving rain, in a plain pine coffin on a hillside overlooking a placid green forest, Israel's mother, Golda Meir, went to the first real rest that she has ever known. From the mailbag from Alex Burton, KRLD, Dear Paul Harvey News, you said there was a misspelled note on the bulletin board at Texas A&M, that somebody had misspelled diploma. There's a guy waiting for you in the lobby with a dull gelding knife who says the note was not wrote by an Aggie. End quote. Los Angeles police thought maybe they'd caught the Skid Row stabber, but in a lineup, nobody could identify him, so they would let him go. Did you hear about the 2 bank robbers in San Francisco? Stuffed the cash into a pillowcase and ran, but the pillowcase overloaded split, spilled thousands of dollars over the sidewalk and street. The 2 robbers were caught. The remaining cash was recovered, but Christmas shoppers had helped themselves to the wreck. Montana Senator Paul Hatfield resigning the Senate this week so that his successor can benefit from a few days' seniority. Expect Hatfield to become a federal judge. Senator Frank Church, who will be the next chairman of the Senate Foreign Relations Committee, is himself less concerned with foreign relations than with our domestic economy. He says our foreign policy must be reshaped in favor of us, U.S., on the home front. He says we can't help the rest of the world until we rejuvenate our own economy. He says while the United States has been dissipating its energy and its resources fighting in Korea and Vietnam, Japan and Germany were building themselves up. Now he says it's our turn. Now, says Senator Church, national security depends more on the strength of our economy than on the size of our armed forces. End quote. Clayton, California has money problems, and the chief city administrator tried to figure out how he might economize, how he might cut down on expenses so as to reduce the frightening deficit. Peter Archuleta considered curtailing each city expense. He examined each city employee and what each one did to decide which one the city could do without. Archuleta ended up deciding that the one person the city could do without best was himself, so he fired himself, page 2.
CARE is a lifeline which begins with you and stretches around the world to the hungry and helpless, to needy families who ask only the chance to provide a better life for their children. Your contribution to CARE aids these poorest of the poor, not just for today, but for the years to come. It helps supply them with the means to grow their own food, to improve sanitation and medical services, to build schools, nutrition and health centers, and safer water systems. Your kindness can make a world of difference to needy families in their struggle to provide the necessities of life for their children. Across the world, CARE is a lifeline for millions today. With your help, it can become the road to a better tomorrow. Please send your check or money order to CARE, Box 576, New York 10016.
During this Christmas season, we're hearing the usual annual conjecture concerning the Star of Bethlehem. Was it a confluence of planets? Was it a one-time only celestial happening? A researcher in astrophysics at Los Alamos offered a computer analysis which shows that Halley's Comet appeared in 11 BC, 32 degrees north of the equator, that's about the latitude of Jupiter, Saturn, and Mars, converged in 6 BC, which certainly would have made a bright light in the Bethlehem sky. Some scholars are able to accept the Bible story on simple faith, but others persist in looking for physical evidence of Noah's Ark or the Red Sea crossing or the Bethlehem star or the origin of the earth. And then there is Robert Jastrow. Now, Robert Jastrow is director of NASA's Goddard Institute for Space Studies. He's a man of science. He's an astronomer. He proclaims himself an agnostic on religious matters, and yet, and I quote his words, "I'm fascinated by some strange developments going on in astronomy. Partly because of their religious implications, partly because of the peculiar reactions of my colleagues." Now, the essence of what he calls strange development is evidence that the universe had in some sense a beginning, that it began at a certain moment in time and under circumstances that seem to make it impossible, not just now but ever, to find out what force or forces brought the world into being at that moment. Then the astronomer goes on to explain that the formerly accepted steady-state theory of cosmology now has been abandoned in favor of the so-called Big Bang theory. Now I'm quoting again. "The astronomical evidence leads to a biblical view of the origin of the universe. The details differ, but the essential elements in the astronomical and biblical accounts of Genesis are the same. The chain of events leading to man commenced suddenly and sharply at a definite moment in time, in a flash of light and energy. Let there be light, and there was light." Jastrow is intrigued by the reactions of his fellow astronomers. He says many scientific minds appear closed to new truths. Their reactions provide an interesting demonstration of the response of the scientific mind, supposedly a very objective mind, when evidence uncovered by science itself leads to a conflict with the articles of faith in our profession. I'm still quoting, "It turns out that the scientist behaves the way the rest of us do when our beliefs are in conflict with the evidence. We become irritated. We pretend the conflict does not exist, or we paper it over with meaningless phrases." Many of yesteryear's accepted scientific theories concerning the origin of the Earth have been discarded as recently as this last week, when our probes of our sister planet Venus rewrote the textbooks. Significantly, our space research increasingly confirms the limits of our finite intellects and the veracity of Scripture. Now page 3.
I wanna build a bookshelf. I wanna do it all by myself. You better come to the Red Thumb.
This Saturday at the Red Thumb True Value Home Center in Plantation only, you can see a free demonstration by Howard Silken, nationally famous expert with the DeWalt radial arm saw. See how to get the most out of this remarkable piece of woodworking equipment. It's a perfect gift for the woodworking enthusiast's home workshop. Learn how to do the special cuts so necessary to a really professional job. And remember, there's special Power Shop package price on the DeWalt radial arm saw at all Red Thumb Home Centers. See the free demonstration in the Plantation store from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. this Saturday. Red Thumb Home Centers in Margate, 1801 North State Road 7, in Fort Lauderdale, 2627 South Andrews Avenue, in Boca Raton, 400 Northwest 2nd Avenue, in Plantation, West Broward Boulevard, and 441.
You better come to the Red Thumb.
A division of Causeway Lumber Company.